guys. You guys should be getting notified right now that I'm live. It's nice to see everybody. Hey, G. It's nice to see you. I'm on this channel today because I was just in here and I realized I was just in here, so I went live and I'm like, oh, I went live on the main channel, but I really didn't mean to. So, sorry. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, Kendra, Gloria. It's nice to see you. We've been going over the Sebastian Rogers case, which is the 15-year-old that is missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. And I've been, watching like a lot of different clip channels like Evil Exists, clipping some stuff down. I've been finding, because, when you listen to a whole bunch, and I think this is what it is. When we listen to these interviews, they're like 2-3 hours long. And I think by the time we get to important information, like our brains are fried in some sense, because, we totally missed a very key point and key information. Hey, Rox, it's nice to see you. Information about the case and her sleeping on the couch. And I think we're all coming to the conclusion or the realization that whole story about the couch, the sleeping, her studying, her having a 3-hour conversation, her getting tired, going to bed, and putting the dogs away in their kennel. There was another interview Chris did in a more relaxed environment, and he ended up telling on himself because, according to Chris, Katie sleeps with the dogs in the bed when he's not there. According to both of them, he wasn't there that weekend. So why would she put the dogs in the kennel if, when he's not there, they sleep in the bed with her? So there's some questions related to that. A lot of questions related to the fact that it was a 3-hour conversation, which just happens to coincide right about the time it takes for Chris to drive from Memphis to their house. There is that. And, with Evil Exists, they were talking about the drive, to this. And I started thinking, where has all of our information come from that we are questioning? And it is from Chris, because Chris is so terrified that we find out this damaging information later and they never told us. So he's always needing to make things crystal clear to us so we hear it up front. So when it comes around, he can say, well, yeah, I told you guys about that. I told you we had a 3-hour conversation. I have a 3-hour conversation with my wife. It's no big deal. We were talking about the week and what she did that day. We do it every Sunday. So it's nice to see you guys. Who's all up in the house? I wanted to make sure. I hope I didn't hurt my friend Karen. She comes in here. I wanted to make sure I see her. I wanted to say hi to her this morning. I don't see her. Well, because she's probably didn't get notified on this channel. Hey, Rhonda, it's nice to see you. Ursula, good to see you as well. So now we're coming back, because I think everything is that is the bulk of our information. Like, that is where our focus really needs to be, because it was all that stuff up front. Now, if we truly believe Chris did come back that night for whatever reason, then what was the purpose of this 17-hour trip to go get the camper? Or did he just come back, pick Sebastian up, and, go along with my theory where I said he wouldn't have had enough time to do anything with Sebastian at that moment? He would have had to go to work. And as soon as he got to work, he was kicked off work and had to go straight home. So is it a possibility? Astrology says, I'll be observing June 6th with the Bowersoxen crew. Can you explain that a little more for me to understand? Because I'm not really, I understand astrology a little bit, but it's not my forte. Is that what related to that? I believe he was there. His phone was at the hotel. He wasn't at a hotel. I didn't think he was at a hotel. I thought he was in his camper when he got the call. Can't they check his truck computer? It requires subpoenas. Are they getting subpoenas? This comes back to, they haven't talked to the public in almost 2 months now. And the last time we heard, they had no forensics done of the house. And at that time, they had only identified and checked out all the vehicles in the area. They never said anything about getting a subpoena from GM. They never said anything about doing forensics. I mean, I'm sure all this stuff, like I think telephone records in a case like this are very easy to acquire with with subpoena power. I don't think you have a whole lot. I mean, the bottom line is you're looking for whoever was in the area at a specific time because a kid went missing. So I think the probable cause for a subpoena would be there. Like, they can get it. Quick lickety split. And then, what else do they have? So they have the vehicles. They accounted for them according to TBI, all the vehicles in the area. They got footage from all the residents, neighbors, local stores. They had thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of footage, according to what they had posted. Now, I would think that in 2 months, they probably went through a good portion of that, all that footage. And it's very concerning that in that portion of all that footage, we still don't have a confirmed sighting of Sebastian Rogers, which is very problematic for me, because no matter where he would walk, we'd have to assume that at some point, if he left that house willingly and purposefully by himself, he would be on foot. At some point, he would get hungry or something and want to go and go to a road. I mean, it sounds like it's hard for him. I just don't see him out there in those woods. He would have taken the roads. It seems to me that he would have taken the sidewalks and the roads as opposed to... maybe he would have went out there in the woods if he had shoes. But I think without the shoes, he would have had to have been forced onto the sidewalk or road because of the dirt. And I just don't see how he wouldn't be trying to stop and sit down and brush his feet off and, trying to get himself re-cleaned and starting to have a little bit of a meltdown, like in public, in front of people. Because, again, even if he was, if something happened where he ran out the front door, at some point he would have had to calm and recollect himself and started freaking out because he didn't know where he was. He didn't see anybody familiar. But I don't know if I believe he would have went out in the woods without the shoes, based on what we know about him. Now, there's nothing really new about Sebastian. We're just we're overviewing. I want to call it reviewing, but I think it's overviewing at this point because we've been through all this stuff like literally 1,000 times, but we keep pulling stuff out of it each and every time we go. And I started watching the Duchess interview. Hey, Pooh, it's nice to see you. The Duchess interview from March 22nd. I got through a few minutes of that, and right away, there was already something that just started calling my name. It's like, and I can't remember what it is, but I just now started on that particular. Sebastian didn't leave his own. Yeah, I don't believe so either, Tanya. At this point, it doesn't sound like law enforcement has any evidence of that. It doesn't sound like the father believes that. Based on everything that Chris and Katie said, they don't even believe it. Like, even according to Tony Mathis, he spoke to, before, all communications were ceased between, Seth's side and the Proudfoot side. It sounded like Tony Mathis, the spokesperson for Seth Rogers, reached out to Katie and Chris. And according to his conversation, and that's what he told me in the interview that I gave to Seth, he told everybody that was there watching that whenever he asked them, is this customary for him to walk out of the house without these things? They both almost said in unison, no. So everybody is agreeing that this child would not walk out of this house without the stuff for his feet or other items. They all three of them have stated that. Even Katie herself has stated that. So if Katie stated that he wouldn't go out of the home, Chris has stated that it's unlikely he went out the home, and Seth is stating it's unlikely to walk out the home. Why in the world would their first idea be he walked out the front door and locked it behind him? When all three of them are absolutely saying there is no possibility that would happen. They've all three said that. They've all three said that recently. So now that we're there, now we have to go to the next step. He didn't leave willingly. Okay, now this is all theory based, guys, so don't, this is all opinion, speculation, and everything else. All the information we have is that the mother said he walked out the door, and there's no evidence that he walked out the door. The factual information is just as simple and cut and dry as that. That's the factual information. So anything over and above that, stop the donate. There are no donations. I don't know what you're talking about. The housewife. Stop the donations is what Housewife Mom Life says. I don't know what donations you're referring to. There are no donations. There hasn't been a donation drive since the old team was fired. The old team was the driver behind the donations. But there's no evidence he didn't just walk out the door. No evidence at all. There's no evidence at all. Now, MO1, yeah, no one's asking for, I don't know. People troll. I would think. Just Seth, that's not your business. Why is somebody else's financial business your business? Not only that, but the donations have ceased. He's taken time off work to find his son. He's had to buy flyers, shirts, and everything like that. So I pray to God you don't have a child go missing. I do pray that. But I do pray if a child goes missing that you have people that advise you of how expensive it is to go find a child. And I hope that you yourself would help in hedge against that. Because if your child went missing, we would put the same policies and procedures and protocols in for you and your family as we did for Seth and his family. So, as far as these donations, if you're not donating, it's none of your damn business. Just saying. Just like that. If you don't want to donate, it's an option. You don't donate. But what you don't get to do is tell somebody else how to live their life or what they can do with their time, money, or anything else. That's not your right. You do what you do for yourself and your family, and you let other people do what they need to do with themselves and their families. We're going to be bringing it back to reality here on all these social media platforms. You guys do drive the bus. Don't get me wrong. But the only people you get to control are yourselves, just like the only people I can control are myself. And I think that reality and our society needs to get back to that. You don't get to control other people because it's offensive to you. If it's offensive to you, it's your problem. Remove yourself from the situation. There's a lot of things that offend me and upset me. And sometimes I remove myself from the situation, and sometimes I do not. Like, this case. I could have removed myself from all this drama and trauma, but I chose not to. But you don't get to come over here and say, tell somebody what they can do with themselves. You don't get to tell the audience what they can do with their resources. That's something you don't get to do, unfortunately. But you can do whatever you want to do for yourself because you're responsible for yourself. Well, it's just, I was just raised differently than this craziness that I'm seeing today. I've got no patience for this nonsense today where people think that they can come and tell you, turn this over and who the fuck, excuse my language, who the heck do you think you are? Like, you have no business being up in it like that. If you ain't contributing, you have, what are these platforms? If we're not supposed to go to GoFundMe to raise funds, what is the purpose of the GoFundMe platform? Are you guys, some people are really just that stupid. If you weren't supposed to use these social media platforms for monetization, why do they offer monetization? It's not a curse to utilize the platforms as they're supposed to be used. So I'm sick of the asinine comments, the wedge issues that when you strip it away sound pretty stupid and petty and childish. Because most of the people perpetrating this childish and pettiness behavior are freaking adults, not children. And it's pretty sad that I can go to an elementary school and deal with more adults and 5 and 6 year olds than I can on these platforms with 50 and 60 year olds. Just saying. Just saying. I know it's offensive sometimes. If you're offended, I'm probably talking about you. No offense. Oh, good gracious, good gracious. But, I absolutely wish, in my humble opinion, if he runs through money, I hope he does start another fund generating thing. Because at the end of the day, his son's not brought back. We still need to continue to pay a PI. We still need to continue, all of us. We all still need to continue to pay for an attorney. Those costs don't go away just because we do. When you have an opportunity to collect them, you have to get your money up front. Because just like this, if you don't collect it then, it drains out. People start tainting it. People start, and next thing you know, you can't do a fundraiser now. It would be totally unsuccessful. You have to do it when the case hits, because that's the most eyes on it. And you have to use that money for the life of the case, which people don't like to tell you about, right? So if he's here 2 years later, he's still pulling from those same funds that he collected way back 2 years ago. So for the people, you guys got to quit listening to this nonsense. You got to put pen to paper sometimes, because people can say something that actually makes sense, but when you put it to theory, you actually put the theory to practice, you realize it's just full of water. And it's just something to make somebody mad at somebody, like an innocent father of a missing child. Just saying. I don't play those games. You don't get to come over here, because I know how expensive this crap is. Trust me. You know what? The people that don't know how expensive this crap is? The people that don't know how expensive this crap is. I get out. I find out. I'm always out on these roads. This last little bit, I'm jammed up. There's nothing I can do about it. But if you go back and look at my work, I'm not a person that sits behind a computer. I'm out there. I'm out there in the wilderness. I travel all over this country. So I see what these families go through. I see how long these cases take. I know how much money trust me, that $50,000 is not going to be enough to survive him through this case. If he even generated that much money. It's not even going to survive. I think maybe he only got half of that, maybe $25,000 back then. I don't even know. I'm guessing here, to be honest with you. I have no earthly idea what the man collected. I don't, it's not my business. That's why I don't know. It's not my business. But whatever he collected, it's got to last him for the life of this case. And as we can see, 90 days is already gone. That's a lot of gas money an hour and a half away. Just saying. And I hear he has a pickup truck. So only the people in here that have pickup trucks know how much gas guzzling that vehicle is. I don't know. I have an SUV. So just FYI, guys, I mean, you got to quit, beating up people, because yes, this stuff, when you have a missing loved one, you can't work. You think the bill collector gives a rat's ass whether your child's missing? It doesn't matter whether he went back to work or not, Shannon. This expenses are still there. He missed a crap ton of work. He still has to go and search for his son every single weekend. There she is. I was wondering when you were going to poke your head in here. I was looking for you. I'm talking to Karen. She knows who I'm talking about. So, yet scammers can, they like right there, Kristen, and scammers, people that are not even associated with the family set up this stuff, and people flood to them to fund them. And when you get the family, it's like, oh my God, scam. It's like, no. I'm so sick. People always, they use this stuff to get to you guys, and you guys let them do it. I'm just saying. A family that has a missing boy, the last thing that they're thinking about is scamming people. I can tell you that. I mean, think about it. If you woke up tomorrow and your child was missing and you had to stop work and go searching for him and you needed cash because you're tapped, I doubt scamming is going to be the first thing on your mind. I think the first thing on your mind is, where the hell am I getting money to put in my gas tank? I don't think scamming is going to be the first thing on a missing person's family mind, unless you got, there are some, I've seen some deadbeat fathers that came out of the woodwork. Oh, my child's missing. I loved her so much. Really? When was the last time you saw her? Oh, when she was 3? Did you pay child support? Well, no, I lost contact with her. Huh. When was the last time she visited? The last time I saw her was when I walked out the door to leave her mama. Okay. Seth is not, yeah. Seth is Seth a perfect guy. I don't think Seth is a perfect guy, but no, none of our fathers were perfect, you know. I know, I could list stories and stories and stories about how imperfect upbringings are. I can tell you my stories, my sister's stories, my friends' stories, you know. The bottom line is if he really didn't love his son, why didn't he just take the money and run? You know? I mean, if he didn't really care about his son, why be out here hitting the pavement and ordering flyers and doing all this? I mean, if he didn't love his son and it was all about the money, I mean, he's got the money. He's had the money for months. So why not just run? Why not just get out of Dodge like Katie and Chris? Yeah. But it doesn't make sense. He got the money. If he hates his son and doesn't care for his son and didn't care, then why is he here? You know, he's got money to go. He's got money to move back to wherever the hell he wants to move back. Bye. But they're here. Yeah, they found a body. They found a body over by where Riley Strain was. I really don't believe. I heard through the grapevine it's an older gentleman. So it could have been either somebody intoxicated or they have a huge homeless population out there. But I don't know. There was something about the way the kid was talking about the appearance. It just led me to believe that it was an adult, not a child. And in that area, you know, I even went off on my YouTube today saying, you know what, at this point, I have to think that Tennessee is culpable. Like, you know, all these bodies are going in this Cumberland River and you're not doing enough to prevent it. They're not. Like, at this point, just put chain link up around it. Just put chain link up around it. I mean, we pulled 3 people out with Riley, 2 or 3 people out with Riley. We're pulling out another one and they just keep coming. So if there's truly no foul play out here and these are just natural people just getting drunk and falling in the water, then we need to prevent them from falling in the water. I'd rather have somebody, you know, with a big old head gash that fell on cement than drown in the water. But it doesn't appear that it's going to be, but we need to keep an eye out on this, you know. But this was my philosophy when I first heard this story, is the reason why I didn't think it could be Sebastian is because Sebastian would have, in all fairness, he would have been buoyant like day 14. And with all the helicopters and planes near the bodies of water and flying over the bodies of water, I feel like they would have seen him at the top. So there's only, you know, 3 other options available. Either he's tethered to something or pinned to something in the water that's preventing him from being buoyant, or he's on top of the ground somewhere that nobody has searched, or under the ground. Because, to be honest with you, Chris was gone for 17 hours. And I'm sorry, but that's a long time. And with Chris, I could see him going further than 6 feet, just to be on the safe side. You know? So, I don't know. You know, at this point, I'm looking for waterways, bridges, easy place to back up to and get something done in seclusion. It's scaring the crap out of me because Chris knows the area really well. He's lived in the Hendersonville area apparently a long time. They know everybody of everybody. He knows all the nooks and crannies, and it's bothersome. And then the 17-hour is more bothersome because we can't determine, did he stick around Hendersonville area for several hours, then go back and get his camper, or did he go back to Memphis and mess around there for several hours? Because that's going to be important, because that's going to decide where we really concentrate efforts and search efforts on. I have to go back to work, but popped in to say, "Aw, well, thank you, Stacy. I hope at least we got you a little filled in a little bit before you had to go back to work." I have never seen so much drama in I have never seen so much drama in my life. So sad. It's created drama. It's created drama by big channels that got their feeling hurt. That's basically it. This is the damage that a big channel can do when they get their feelings hurt. This is exactly what happens when big channels get their feelings hurt, is this right here. So it's a double-edged sword, but I still think social media, is still the best way to get these stories out to a broader group of people. There's people all over the world that get to see and advocate for the children here in our country. And so we're very blessed and thankful for that. Not every country deals with the stuff we deal with here. And it might very well be, but this is our laws. We do have a constitution that gives us the freedoms, and people are imperfect. So we do things imperfectly. Some of us are just plain evil. Okay. I mean, let's just face it. There was just some of us that were born that something didn't happen in the brain cells. I don't know. I don't know how some of the people that we deal with some of this stuff. But it always, it keeps coming back to me, about Katie. I keep thinking about drinking. Was she drinking with Sebastian when she was pregnant with Sebastian? And I keep thinking, and I don't think she would have. I don't think she would have. But I keep wondering, did she have genetic issues because of her childhood? Obviously, there was an unsavory thing going on behind, in her family, in her personal family as she was being raised. And I keep wondering, is there something genetically wrong with Katie as well? I don't want to imply anything other than that. I think that's implied well, because this is the reason why I'm asking that is because obviously she had from what I'm hearing, she had 2 children. Oh, thank you, Cindy. God bless you. She had 2 children that she was pregnant with that she didn't carry full term. And then she had Sebastian. And then Sebastian had all these defects. And it makes me wonder, there was that red blood type, that rare blood type does something. And I keep wondering what blood type she is, and if that might have something to do with it as well. What was it? R something? I can't remember. It's a very rare blood type. But you have to have infusions when you're pregnant. I know somebody, R negative. That's it, niece. Thank you. Yeah. RH, R negative. Yep. So, I keep wondering if that was, maybe a possibility that she might have had a rare blood type and it had some defects, in Sebastian, even though they tried, I don't know. It may not very well be. It may just be, because some people just have horrible times conceiving. I know I've expressed to you guys my personal experiences. O and RH negative. Yeah, RH negative. Okay, Carrie. Yeah, I knew there was something because one of my friends had it, and it was very, very scary when she was pregnant. I remember that. I remember having to get infusions. I don't remember much because it was so many years ago, but I do remember little bits and pieces of it. I remember being very, very, very concerned, and it was because she had lost a child before she took her daughter to full term. I'm trying to be careful with names, so it's like names just roll off the tongue for me sometimes. It causes more miscarriages. Yeah, so I kept wondering if maybe she was RH negative. I'm RH negative and had 3 normal births. Did you have to have infusions, or it wasn't affecting you? Because from what I hear, it's only if the blood mixes or something, or your child doesn't have the same blood type as you. I can't remember what it is. Never had infusions. It's more about positive and negative blood mixing. Yeah, that's it. That's what it is. Okay. So I didn't understand the negative, but that makes sense. That clarified. Out of all these years, Becky, I think you made it make most sense in my brain. And that's after all the doctors, too. Who was the father of her? I don't know. I didn't ask that. I don't want to assume anything. I just heard that she did. So I have no idea. I don't know if it was, two of them were miscarried, from my understanding. I'm sure he's angry, and I think he's I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how angry he must be, to... That's got to be just... I don't know. I would be angry. Angry. Just sitting home alone and just wanting to ask my ex so many questions, and my ex won't even talk to me, won't even tell me what the hell happened to my son. I can't even imagine. Like, I'm trying to imagine. I'm literally sitting here trying to be still in the thoughts to imagine, and I can't imagine that level of anger. I don't know if I've ever had that level. I mean, I've been angry before. I've been enraged before, but I don't know if I've ever been to that level of angry, even in my enraged moments, I should say. We don't know who it is yet. Actually, I probably should change the background. Sorry, I've just been sitting here talking this whole time. And maybe that one? There we go. Busted. Yeah, we'll put the busted one back up. I'm a therapist and have actually experienced a client and oh my gosh. I don't know how people get to the point of so angry that you would hurt to that point. But I'd have to think that that the person lost total and utter control of themselves. Like, by the time they composed themselves, the damage was done. Some things happen in split seconds, it just like that. And it's in the Cumberland River where, around the area of Riley Strain. And it sounds to me like it might be an older person, but I don't, I haven't received any other information than a speculative. It sounds like an older man. When events like this happen with our kids, it changes our very being. Yeah. Some creators wait for Seth to get angry and put him down on their platform. Really sad. Well, he should be angry. What person that has gone without their child for 3 months is not going to be a raging lunatic? Like, he should be a hell of a lot more of a raging lunatic than what we're seeing, in my opinion. But he's not allowed to express himself online without being picked apart. But they're not picking the parents that were with this child apart, that most likely did something to this child. No, it's just Seth. Why? Because obviously somebody got their feelings hurt. Obviously Seth didn't do it, is not the problem here that everybody's trying to make him out to. So it's a narrative being driven. When something doesn't make sense as to why people are pointing at somebody when they've all clearly said he has nothing to do with it, it's all BS. It's a narrative. It's, oh, you hurt my friend's feelings, so I'm going to have my friends back. This is so high school. I don't do that crap. I'm not in high school anymore. You guys want to play that game? Play the game. I don't care. I don't play. I tapped out. Tapped out a long time ago. I don't want the crap. I've been telling people for 2 years. I don't want this stuff in my infiltrated. But this case here, the people that I actually thought were cool and good have all disappointed me. But you know what? The good thing with me is I've never... outside of Olivia and I collaborating together, we've all been very independent. So I've never relied on anybody. Like, my audience is not every other, true crime creator. My viewership is not beholden to somebody else's viewership. So I'm totally, totally independent. I can say what I want to say I don't really worry about it. If there's some, loyalist of this person that was a jerk that I ended up saying a little snippet about, then... bye-bye, but it is what it is. I don't own anything to anybody, So if somebody's doing something wrong, whether I'm friendly with them or not, I have integrity. I'm going to tell them that they're wrong. Everybody wants everybody to do it behind the scenes. Well, some of us don't have the ability to do it behind the scenes. The only way we do it is in front of the scenes to get our message out there and our message across very clearly. So there is that. But I'm independent of people. I can do and say as I damn well please on my own platform, how I want to do it, how I want to say it, and people have been disgusting in their behavior, in their feat to damage Seth. So if they can do it, then I'll give them a taste of their own medicine. It's just that simple. It's not something that I like to do. It's not pleasing or pleasant for me to do. But trust me, I can give a dose of somebody else's own medicine. And that's where we're kind of at. I can go back to school too. Again, don't want to be there. That's why I always give warnings. I give my warning shots. You guys can't say I don't give my warning shots. I give warning shots. Say, hey, Betty's got something up her craw. She's got her panties in a wad. Chill out for a day or two, right? I always fire warning shots. I give everybody an opportunity not to make it go like scorched earth. I think I'm very fair. But one thing I can't stand, like I know I got dirt in my closet, right? I'm not sitting up here acting like I'm perfect and everybody else is worse than me and stuff like that. Are you kidding me? I'm just like my audience. I have a messed up life. I got messed up family and I love it. And there you have it. It's my life. I didn't choose the life. It chose me. So it's like, we all make mistakes, and this whole envision of perfection has got to stop. Because it's people that are expecting things that they're not expecting from themselves to do. They're putting that onto somebody else. And especially somebody that, I'll leave it at that. I made my point be known. It's unnecessary. This man didn't do anything. They're having a bone to pick with him because they got hurt feelings, like I have maintained since the beginning of this. And I'm tired of the pettiness, especially coming from adults on this platform. And especially from people that aren't so clean themselves and have a whole host of dirt in their own damn closets. And that's the point I'm making. Nobody likes anybody talking about their dirt. But they don't mind talking about other people's dirt. We keep it to the people, we keep it to the victims, we keep it to the perpetrators. We don't throw innocent people under the bus no matter how we feel about them. We just don't. They're going through the worst time in their life. Their past don't matter. If you really want me to be honest about it, when you're missing a child or have a deceased child, nothing in your past matters at that moment. Nothing. So, parents make stupid mistakes thinking that they have tomorrow. Some of the parents don't. And they have to live with that the rest of their life. So this illusion of perfection, I just want to remove it. That's really what I want to do. Don't ever bring that person's name up in mine. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have to block you for that because you should know better. So there you go. Don't ever bring that girl's name up in my chat. Ever. I don't know how to remove that. I'd like you to remove your post, but I will block you. Confirm block. Yes. I don't care if you remember or not. I don't know how to get this lady out of my chat. Block. Will not be able to watch. Oh, yes, that's fine. Okay. It looks like I blocked her. I don't know if I did or not. But, it's BT. It's a mute then block. Oh, is that what I have to do, boy mom? Okay, yeah. Don't bring BT up in my chat because, to be honest with you, she's already been informed. As soon as I find out who she is, I'm planning on suing the shit out of her. So she's already been informed of my intent to sue. So because of an ongoing litigation between her and one of her friends, I don't want them in my chat at all. So there's that. Finally, someone that isn't with the clicks back and forth, both sides, truly about finding this. Yeah, exactly. Well, I've been accused of that for years when all I was trying to do was help families. You have no idea. Like, I was the most bullied person on the streets of YouTube because I wanted to help families. And it's like, now that I got this lawsuit and I'm finally pulling myself out of the crap that I should have never been dragged into anyways, it's like, you know what? I'm putting my hard line in the sand and saying, I'm not dealing with this. Like, I don't have to deal with this. I mean, I've got probably close to it's not like millions of followers, but I got like almost 200,000 plus followers on all my platforms combined. I don't have to deal with it. I really don't. And I'm not going to. And I think by me moving away from the pack and this nonsense and refocusing what my channel is and what true crime should truly be, I'm praying to God by leading by example that we remove some of this petty, childish nonsense from it. But I'm not going to put up with it. I will literally block everybody. I don't care. I'm done with the nonsense. I'm done with the garbage. Everybody else should be too, because who's it helping? If you say you're here for the victims, your feelings, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Even my feelings about Chris and Katie, they don't matter. If I have an opportunity to talk to them, I'm going to treat them with respect. Why? Because I've got questions that need to be answered. I'm not an idiot. I'm not bringing them on my channel to insult them. I'm bringing them on my channel to find out information that will help us and the people that are working behind the scenes garner information for their work. So I have my opinions about these two people, and I think I express it very well on my platforms. But the respect to them, if they were sitting in my chat right now, I would not be calling Christopher a piece of shit. You see what I'm saying? You see the difference? Now, when I'm talking on here when he's not here, I'm going to tell you I think he's a piece of shit. Okay? It's a respect thing. All right? I'm not going to respectfully call him a piece of shit. I'm going to say, hello, Mr. Chris. How are you doing today, sir? You know why? Because that's the way I was taught. Don't ever accuse me of talking behind your back. Yes, I do. Why? Because I don't want to insult you in front of your face. All right? So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Is Betty talking about me? Yeah, she's talking behind your back. Don't worry. When I talk in front of your face, it's probably 10 times worse. Just saying. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys, you had fun with me long enough. I need to get back to my paperwork, and I got Chinese. Breakfast of Champions. All right, guys, I love you. God bless. I don't know when I'll be back today. I will be back today. It looks like tomorrow we're going to be back full steam ahead. My paperwork should be read by this evening, and it should be off to filing if everything goes well. If not, I might have to take the tomorrow morning to do that. But it looks like we'll be back to full steam. I'll have about 3 or 4 shows back here during the day. We are going to have to start incorporating, though, Layla Santinello's case, because when my car gets back and I go to Tennessee, I'm covering both cases. So we need to get the viewership up on Layla Santinello as well, because we need to do a really good push to try to find information for Layla Santinello. So I'm already starting having conversations with Chronicles of Olivia on planning a next trip. So we are working on that now. I don't know when that will be, but I promise you, just as soon as we find out, I'll let you know. But if you don't think I'm putting my boots in Hendersonville, Tennessee, I'm putting my boots in Hendersonville, Tennessee. I have a lot of areas. This is not going to be anything to disrupt anybody's life, anything. We are going to be out there in the woods. I've got, 3 months of map work done. I've got several key areas that I have identified. Unfortunately, those key areas are very wide and long. So I don't know how long it's going to even take me to do the Brian Koberger route. You know, the Koberger route looks like it's an extensive route. So I'm one of those, I eat that frog. And if you don't know what it is, go get the book called Eat That Frog. You'll understand. So I eat the biggest frog first. And the biggest frog is the Koberger route. So that's going to most likely be my start. That's where I'm going to start my search. Now, I have other areas that are a little bit smaller but further away. So I'm going to work the big areas, and I'm going to work from proximity. So I'll be working from that big area backwards. And that's going to be where I am. I'm not bringing dogs out. I'm not saying that I've got sonar equipment. I don't do that. I'm looking for a body. I'm looking for a person, a big body, right? 5'5", 110 pounds. And I don't mean body like body. If you know my speech pattern, I talk about, like, even when volunteers, we just need bodies out there. I talk about people being bodies, not maybe probably a bad choice of words for this particular situation. It's just the way I talk. But, I'm looking for a human being. Let me put it like that. I'm looking for a human being, a 5'5", 110, 120 pound human being. I'm not doing a grid search. I'm not doing any type of search like that. So there is that. That girl will never be able to come over here and get literally clout off me. Nobody likes crusty crotch. She's a nasty, nasty. Go. You know what? I would send people over to her channel, but I'm scared people would literally tear her channel apart about how much of a bully she is. To be honest with you, because the people here on TikTok, and I had 100,000 of them, she would lose her freaking channel if I sent my people over there to take care of her channel. BT, that's all I'm going to say about this chick. So, I would keep her name out of my chat, because once I start going after her, I don't have to do anything. People here are very loyal to me, and they see her 3 years of this nonstop petty crap. 100,000 people going over and complaining on her channel about how much she's a bully. I'm going to tell you, you don't want to bring her name over here on TikTok. It will screw her slap up. Just saying. The people know who I'm talking about. People know who I'm talking about. So, anyways, guys, I will talk to you later. God bless you. Just remember, keep it about Sebastian. There are flyers out. We can go to TBI /Sebastian. There are his endangered person flyer, as well as an Amber Alert. If you guys just want to go there and print out a copy and just walk it out your door and put it up on your electrical pole out at your that's what every single person in this chat can do right now, is go out there, print one copy, and walk outside of your house and tape it or staple it on your power pole in front of your house. That is the one thing that each and every person that's watching this video, that will be watching this video when it gets over on the other side, go and print one flyer out for everybody out there. If you can't afford to print, that's fine. I understand. But for those that can, and maybe go and give a copy to a neighbor if you can afford an extra copy, right? If you can afford an extra copy. And just take the piece of paper, go out to your nearest pole, and just post it pointing out to the road. That is what each and every one of us can do right now. Right now, we can do that. So, anyways, Staple prints them for me for free. Oh, well, that's nice. That's a good idea. Anyone who ships, hold on. What does it say? Anyone who ships packages, pop a flyer. There we go. Great suggestion. Anyone that packs, if you guys have a shipping thing, maybe throw a little flyer or make a little card to go in it, just of a missing person. That is an amazing idea. I didn't even think about that. That is an amazing idea. Sonia, maybe we could, for your shirts and stuff, maybe have a little card or something that can go in there with his name, or maybe on your little printed thing, just put his name missing on like a little corner piece on something. That's an amazing idea. So anybody that ships, perfect idea. That's a great way to get his name out there. But for everybody else that doesn't, if you just got a printer, or maybe your neighbor, maybe you don't have a printer, but your neighbor does, go over there and print a flyer and go out and put it on your post. I think that's the one thing that we can all do that's going to make the biggest impact across the country, right? It's going to be the one that makes the biggest impact across the country. Stickers on shipping boxes is another good way. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. People coming together, throwing some suggestions out there that will help. That will actually help. All right, guys. Well, I love you. I'll be back. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'm tired of complaining. So we're going to have to get back to brass tacks. I just haven't had an opportunity to really look at a whole host of anything. So maybe we'll just come here later this afternoon and just catch up on the latest and greatest of what's going around, and maybe have a brainstorming session like this and find ways to find out how we can help get his face and name out there. I mean, there were some great suggestions suggested just now. So thank you guys. Thank you. And I think that's about it. Car magnets, yeah. I keep hearing car magnets and I get so angry because Eleanor, it made me upset that Katie and both Katie and Chris took all their flyers off their vehicles about Sebastian missing. She has nothing on her channel, I don't think, or her Facebook page, or she privatized that. So all of her messages, I think, if they're not on private groups, those would have all been gone. I don't know. I personally like magnets on the cars. I like magnets better than stickers because I'm just weird like that. I don't like anything sticking on my car. But I'll put something with a magnet on my car that I can take off. But I won't put a sticker on it. CP mom has nothing. KP or CP have nothing. So sad. She took them off super quickly. Yeah. Oh, and I somebody wrote me that was from the family. I just haven't had a chance to. I was short on time, so I've got to go back and read it, and I'll let you know if I can share it or not. But it sounds like a family member did reach out to me. I just got to corroborate it and stuff like that. But I'll do that. I won't be able to do that until probably tomorrow. I'm local to Hendersonville. I go there often. There's nothing about Sebastian around. How about have you gone to a county office? Do they have any signs up in the county offices? I'm curious. Because if they don't have any signs in the county office, they don't think this boy's missing. Sorry. I know how my county is. So I'd like to see if they have missing person flyers in their county. No one on NC has heard of Sebastian. Wow. Yeah, we probably could do better, but I mean, we're not national. I mean, we're international, kind of, sort of, just by the way the design of YouTube and TikTok is. But we don't get that. We don't capture that local, news segment out there in that area. So unless we can catch it, but people are moving to social media more and more. So it's going to be to the point where we're going to be able to really isolate our messaging to certain areas where we can tag certain communities and they get alerted. I can foresee that coming up in the near future. They don't want anyone looking for him because it puts attention on them. Well, and that's what I said when I was talking to, I think, well, I did the interview and we brought up whether he was yelling or not. And Seth told me that Chris wasn't yelling. He just wanted them all to work together. And I just thought about, well, what did Chris do after that showed that he wanted to work with Seth and work together in bringing Sebastian home? And you know what he did? They ended up leaving for Mississippi again, or wherever, Memphis, and left him high and dry and refused to work with him. So really what Chris was trying to do is get him to stop searching. That's my opinion. To stop looking so active while they're sitting on their butt, because it was making them look bad. It was bringing in attention, but he's a father of a kid. He don't give a rat's ass what his ex-wife looks like or what her husband looks like. He doesn't care. He wants his son. Can you imagine that? Like, I know you're worried about your kid and all, but can you just stop searching? I think, everybody's talking about how disgruntled Seth is, but to be honest with you, I think he's a biker, and he's handled himself really, really, really well. And a lot of people don't understand bikers have a different type of personality. And I think that that's what you guys are not understanding, is that this is not your neighbors. They just have a different personality, right? All of them, Katie, Chris, and Seth. It's a different lifestyle. Being in a lifestyle like that, your tendency to be more ballsy, it's what gravitates you to that lifestyle because of your personality. And so, to be honest with you, I think he's handled himself very well. Very well. I can tell you that there are some friends of mine. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, that's what it is. And I think that's what we're all kind of coming to. We all knew it in the back of our minds, but we were kind of, we're still holding out hope. But the bottom line is we need to find them. Terry Lynn's been out there in the woods. She has not given up her crusade to find him. She's been out in the woods looking everywhere, anywhere, just clearing areas. Has she found anything yet? No. But you don't find anything until you find it, right? It's hours upon hours out there in those woods. A lot of people don't understand it. I love the fact that there are other creators doing it, because it's a lot of hard work. It really is. It's a lot of hard work. It's hard. You hurt yourself. You scratch yourself. I mean, I've gotten thorns in my eyes, my hair. I've been scratched. I've had, dollar size blisters on the pads of my $50 size blisters on the pads of my feet. It's rough. People don't realize the searchers out there, the extents that they go to search. It's not easy. I can tell you that 100%. And then you try to couple that with adding cameras to it, trying to bring it all back to you guys. Oh, good gracious. That's even harder because, we never know what we're going to see. We have to chat. We have to be very cognizant because, we never know what we're going to find out there. And, it's a live broadcast. And there are times, thank God we haven't had the experience. But I know there are going to be times out there that we run across something that we're not supposed to do or not supposed to see. And so I'm just hoping that I grab the camera or cover the lens, quickly enough. We have a lot that we're weighted with when we're out there in the field, especially going live. So sometimes, depending on what we're doing, I may just run footage the whole day and then come back and edit it and upload it. It's easier for me to run lives because it is what it is, and then there's not really a whole lot of editing. And if you know anything about me, I don't have the patience for editing. I'll do it. I know how to do it. I put together pretty cool stuff sometimes, but it's just not my top love of this job at all. You never go live while searching. Never. I do. I usually have about a bunch of cameras on me. We went, if it's in benign areas, if I have, I should tell you like this, if I have a sneaky suspicion that we're going to, and trust me, we do get sneaky suspicions. We do have birdies here and there, and we do what we do when we're out there. But if I get a sneaky suspicion that there may be, I may actually that there might be something that I need to be careful for, or the terrain is really rough. That's another thing. If the terrain is really rough, I'm not going to worry with my footage. I'm not going to worry with lives because I have to put my equipment in my bag. I can't afford to lose equipment out there in the field. So if the terrain's bad and I've got to climb or crawl over or get through, then I'll bag all my equipment in my backpack until I get through the terrain and then get to a stopping point and may go live again at that point. But I'm very cognizant about the equipment. We spend a lot of money on equipment every single year. We just got from the channel like a $1,400 camera. We're raising money now for the lens. These expensive cameras, you have to buy the camera and then you have to buy. They don't come with They don't come with lenses. Never in my life dealt with that because I've always bought cheap cameras. But I guess these expensive ones, they just sell you the camera and you have to buy all your lenses. Like I got like my last camera. It came with like a whole accessory kit. Like I had like 4 different lenses in it, filters, everything. Like this Panasonic is one of the most expensive cameras. It's supposed to be really, really good though. It's supposed to be really, really good. And I hear that you really want a good lens with it. So I'm trying to decide whether I want a general lens or if I want a Cinemax lens because it's going to cost me about the same price for one or the other. And I'm just trying to decide what is the best for me. Oh, thank you, girl next door. And I'm always like one of those people. It's like, I feel like no matter what answer I'm going to get, I'm going to make a mistake. Because I always say that. I'm like, I always pick the wrong one. And so I have a funny feeling I want to go with the cinema lens but I really need the general lens, so I probably just need to just go with the general lens that does autofocus. It's not going to have the best quality, but as long as it has great quality, that's all we're seeking, right? Oh, hey Tammy, it's nice to see you, love. They won't confirm literally anything, so we don't know more. No, nobody knows. Like everybody was like somebody was coming in my chat over there on. Oh, thank you, Parker. God bless you. Somebody was coming in my chat. Oh, he gave me another. I love the lights. Those are pretty. Those are pretty. And they were saying something. What did they say this morning? Oh, that because I was talking about the information about Kathy being at Worsham's. And about how the 3 people, I think I learned that here. And then I think it was when I talked to Tony, he was talking about multiple people. But I think it was somebody here that told me 3. There was 3 people that came forward. But it was Tony that said multiple. There was definitely multiple people that came forward about the Worsham's sighting of Kathy. And somebody was in my YouTube saying that was a lie. And I'm like, no, it's not a lie because we don't. And I had just got done saying it hasn't been confirmed or denied. Like it's information that has been stated by multiple people, but we haven't heard the results of it. I mean, I'm being as honest and as fair as I can. And they're like, oh, no, it didn't happen. It wasn't Kathy. And I'm like, no, we don't have that information. We don't know if it was Kathy or not. We don't have information one way or the other. All we have is the allegation. And that's what we have. We have the allegation that she was seen or spotted at Worsham's. And we have that allegation brought by multiple people. But we don't know whether it was truly Kathy or not. It could have been somebody in a similar vehicle as Kathy that might have had the same color hair as her. Might have been a younger version of Kathy. We don't know. We just know multiple people had the same sighting. So with that being said, and of course I'm arguing with this because it's not her statement. It is untrue because nobody knows. So by her saying that it's false, her saying false was actually false. Because we're still in the unknown of that statement. We don't know whether it's true or not. We have no evidence to support whether she was there, and we have no evidence to support that she wasn't there. We have allegations brought by multiple people of what they saw. That's it. And law enforcement is not coming out to say, oh, by the way, we did see, the mother-in-law's car over there by the school. Or we've been having rumors about this vehicle over by the school, and it was not Kathy's. We don't get nothing like that from law enforcement. Law enforcement ain't giving us nothing. I think he should be fired because I don't know if they're solving this. If they solve it, he needs his job. If he doesn't solve this and this goes cold, he needs to be fired. Period. That's just my position. My position, because they cut the public out so much. And the public could have been assisting or helping, and they chose to do it the hard way, and this boy got lost in the system, and then his case was never solved. And it was because of their poor, if they don't solve it, like I said, if they don't, I'm not saying anything. I'm praying to God that they're doing all the sneaky stuff behind our back, and they're going to rock this out with their coffee beans out, and they're going to be making an arrest real soon. That's what I hope. I never want law enforcement to fail. I want law enforcement to be a winner chicken dinner all day long. I don't get any goodness out of them, out of cases going cold. I want them to have every single tool at their disposal to bring these cases home and to prosecute the people that need to be prosecuted. And I think they should have every tool at their disposal to be able to do that and do that well. So, but in the same sense, if you're going to block the public out like this, you better bring your A game, because this is like a one and done. If this case goes cold and you block the public out, I don't know politically if there's any way to get out of that. Somebody's going to lose their job, in my opinion. I know in my county, if that happens, somebody would lose their job. Somebody would lose their job. So I think, unfortunately, Elijah's case has gone... what's going on here? I don't know what happened. My screen just went a little darker on me. What's going on here? Can you guys see me still? Can you guys see me? Hold on a second. Yes? Okay. It's really weird. It's got a little like windy thing in it. I wonder if this means that I'm having some problems recording this and getting something, because it just went dark on me and I see this spinny thing by my nose. Your phone is dying. My phone's fully charged. Okay. There we go. All right, we're back. I don't know. It was really weird. It made me do this like little verification thing, which was odd. So, no, I didn't need to restart it. It breaks my heart for Sebastian, but the back roads are lots of places to put a body on the back. Yeah, exactly. It's possible. It always does the puzzle piece. Why does it do that? I wonder why that does the puzzle piece. I guess to make sure that we're still talking. I guess after probably if we talk on here too long, it wants to make sure we're really talking. BHB, I just wanted to say your interview with Seth. Oh, thank you, Lo. Oh, it does? It makes sure it's... Okay, gotcha. Oh... Yeah, gotcha. Well, I guess the TikTok is verifying that Bullhorn Betty still has enough hot air to. Is she still alive over there? Let's make sure she's still alive. Did she have a pulse? Let her move the piece over. What did you say here, Betty? Did you hear anything about the TikTok? Who is SO in Sebastian's area? I don't know. I know that they looked into SOs, but I don't know a TikToker who is an SO, though. But there might be. In the Daughtry's case, the public helped find her because Ellie asked about the car. Why haven't they done that? These are a lot of, but we don't know if they, because that's why I had to walk back my forensic findings part this morning on YouTube, is because it's been so long since we had a press conference. We don't know if those things have been done yet or not. It's very well that, maybe when we started this, they hadn't been done, but we're getting no communication from law enforcement. And if we're getting no communication from law enforcement, then how are we going to know if they've moved over to those things? I'd have to think in this type of investigation, I mean, they're close to the chest. I don't care what anybody says. I don't need law enforcement to tell me whether or not they're in a criminal investigation or not. Okay, I want to, from my purview, whether people want to agree with it, it's my opinion. Okay, so I'll take it. For my opinion, I believe we're in a criminal investigation. And when I say that we're in a criminal investigation, that opens them up to be able to use sealed subpoena power. That means nobody's knowing what's going on. There's a secret court case that's open behind the scenes that nobody is a privy to. Only the courts and the state attorney and the law enforcement that is dealing with this whole situation, because they have to have a court case for a judge to sign something, to get them subpoenas and get them orders and get them warrants and stuff like that. This all has to be done. So we've got that going on behind the scenes. So, and I believe that their behavior indicates a criminal investigation. So I have to think that all these subpoena powers, the subpoenas to GM to find out their stuff on their car, I don't know if they'll need to take out the black box of their car to get that information. I think that there's reports behind the scenes that reports back to GM that they can actually pull the data and send it to them without even touching their vehicle. That is my understanding. If that's the case, then I believe they've already subpoenaed that. I believe they've already subpoenaed Google. I believe they've already subpoenaed their cell phone records. I believe that they've already subpoenaed any type of social media accounts. I mean, if we had to go back to the Idaho 4 and follow that count, we can kind of understand what's going on. Oh, as a matter of fact, that might not be a bad idea. Because most of those subpoenas are now released, and those were subpoenas that were being done without our knowledge, because we didn't see those until many months later when they were submitted into the court record. So We might be able, you know what, let me do some digging into the Brian Koberger case, and I bet you we can at least identify maybe some of the subpoena. Well, that maybe I need to find something a little closer. Maybe I'll look into Letitia Stout. But I think her case is gone, and I didn't print off anything for her case. I've got the whole Brian Koberger case in there. My whole entire office looks like it exploded in papers, because that is the case. I mean, oodles and oodles and oodles of papers for Brian Koberger. But I think we need to go there. But I think some of the preliminary subpoenas, I think we could look at and see that maybe that they're doing that. But if we can find another case of a missing child, that I can have access at least to their docket, their current the docket, then I can kind of follow what subpoenas that they've had at what juncture. We can put them in kind of like a, I don't know, time order, like from oldest to newest, and see what the first subpoena was drafted, and which ones thereafter, and what those possessed. Casey Anthony's in Florida too. That'll be easy for me, because even if I have to order it, it's not too far from where I live. It's only a couple hours away. I could go pick up the whole entire file. That might be an idea. Susan Smith's too old. And the only reason I say it's too old is because that was from the 90s. That was back when our computer systems were in the infancy, and a lot of this stuff a lot of her stuff is in boxes. I don't know unless they put it online since then. But even if they did put it online, they wouldn't have put the whole file online, because it would have been too daunting of a task to do that. I remember going through it here in my county when we all converted from paper files over to the digital file. It was a pain in the ass. Summer Wells, we don't have an active case that I can pull from. Anything from the 90s we can't use. It's got to be something recent with our new systems. So we're looking stuff in the past, I don't know, 5-10 years tops. I don't want to go past a 10-year case, because, and not only that, but I'd like the newer stuff would be the best, because that's with our applicable laws. The further away you get, because laws change year to year, and depending on what has been taken to the Supreme Court, it may modify a statute or a condition or something out there. So you've got to be careful with that too. So you really want cases that are similar, like in the last several years, as opposed to years and years and years ago, because there's been so many changes in the laws. Do you believe that even if he came home from, yes, I do believe. For me, in all of my theories, Sebastian came home from the Texas Roadhouse. The one thing that kind of, when I asked myself, how do I know he came into that house in lieu of videography, in lieu of, not trusting the mom. And it came down to two things for me. It came down to the fact that he was seen on camera taking the garbage out, but it was the shoes. The shoes were the seal of the deal for me, because if something had happened while he was out of the home, I don't see them removing the shoes to bring him back home. So that's really what kind of made me put more weight into the theory that he did come home from the Texas Roadhouse. Can't wait to find out what meds KP takes on a daily. Oh, that'd be interesting. HIPAA. Don't forget HIPAA. We'll never know what she's on. Actually, they might be put in some of her court records, because I have a funny feeling when this push comes to shove, she's going to need some extenuating circumstances, which in all fairness, she does have extenuating circumstances. With her childhood, she's already got the leniency of the court, potentially, unless it was ultra intentional, then she'll lose the sympathy of the court. But her actions right now are a little concerning. She's telling law enforcement the truth while trying to tell them her version of events. For example, she's saying that he walked out of the house, but she knows in her heart and soul he would never walk out of the house with nothing. So I don't think she can admit it to herself just yet. I think she's still in a denial and in a state where she thinks that this is going to turn out so much better than when it started. I think she's still in that diluted phase. It's rough for her, but she still thinks that she just perseveres through it, that she'll make it to the other side. And I just don't think that's the case. I think that this case is glaring certain key facts and details. And I can't imagine that law enforcement is intentionally missing all of this. I'd have to think that they're utilizing all of this. And that's just how I believe. So he didn't walk out and she was in the home. Exactly. Well, you remember Chris said he didn't expect this to get that big. He didn't. He never expected this to get that big. And you can tell what he was hoping to happen is exactly what we thought, what we had said. He was hoping that people would take this as just a normal runaway 15-year-old teenager. No big deal. And he just never came home again. But they got to meet the true crime genre of social media. And it's like, yeah, we've done this before. We've done this before. I can tell you there's going to be some social media creator that's going to end up being a sheriff one day. I'm sorry, there is. There is. I absolutely believe that social media and a sheriff is going to collide. I absolutely do. And I don't think it's the worst thing that could happen. Having the knowledge that we have here, being a web sleuth and applying that in today's law practices or law enforcement practices, I think it would be a winner chicken dinner all day long, personally speaking. So, all right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you today. I will be back later today, probably closer to the evening. I'm almost done with my paperwork. We're getting there. I'm really liking the way it's flowing. And of course, I got to still print it off. I got to do proofreading. And I think by tomorrow, I'll be able to do my final touches and get everything that I need filed. And we'll be back at it as we were and have been. I don't understand, my opinion, why there's been so much tippy-toe around Katie. I have no idea. I'm not a tippy-toe person. I would like to talk to her. Like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm stealth. And, I got my own tricks up my sleeve, but I hope. I have a funny feeling I'm hoping I'll run into Katie while she's not with Chris, And, I really just not obviously, she probably won't even know she's talking to me, but I'd like to ask her some questions and, hopefully she'll be kind enough to answer those in maybe a non-confrontational type of manner. I'm just saying. I don't know what I should look like, if I should look like a kid or a grandparent, but we'll figure it out. I'm going to talk to her. Watch. I'm going to talk to her. I'm just going to ask her, I just want to know, what in the hell happened when she got home? Her story is so vague. That's my problem. Her story is so vague. They had this amazing day, and all you heard is she went to BJ's, went to a bowling alley, and went to eat. That's what we heard. We didn't hear how much fun he had. We didn't hear about the games he played. We didn't hear about how many times he won. We didn't hear anything. We heard probably a Reader's Digest version of what happened, and she's trying to act like it was the best day ever. How did it become the best day ever? You told us he went to BJ's and came home. What did he do when he was home? Then you left. What did he do when he got to the bowling alley? Did you guys even bowl? I don't even know if they bowled. I have no idea. All right, I'm going to quit talking. We got a lot of questions. If you guys hear me talking about these questions, and as you're doing your research or you're watching another channel and you're hearing some of my questions be answered, can you guys kindly send that stuff over to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com? I would really greatly appreciate it. That'll give me the ability to listen to it and get some context behind it. But if you hear the stuff that we're talking about, and if something kind of bodes with one of my theories, or maybe goes against one of my theories, but it has legit information, send it to me. Because again, it's all about trying to find out what truly happened that day, and in hopes of finding a location we can search to bring Sebastian home. So there you go, guys. I'll see you soon. God bless.